Hello YouTube. I want to kind of show you around a little bit. We've been working here today, and we've been working in this garden. Now Brenda made a good video yesterday, my wife there, and watching that video kind of pointed out some things to me that I needed to take care of. So we came over here today and we got in here and worked in this garden. We got her healed up good, got the weeds out of it, all except the onions, and we're not going to pull any weeds out of them onions. Them onions are not keepers, they're eaters, and we're going to eat every one of them. We don't raise a keeper. I don't have any place that I could keep them if I did. But just running real quick, want to show you the garden here, and talk to you a minute about the old timers there, if I could. So, and of course, we always want to try to put that in there. We like to put that in the video. Got the little flag going on there, as always. But real quick, I'll get back with you here. We're back. We was showing you that garden there, and like I was telling you earlier, Brenda did a fine job making the video yesterday, and I was watching the video, and actually it pointed out a few things to me there that I needed to do, and I really needed to get in there and weed that garden. And I will say, if there's any old timers out there, I'm ashamed of myself that I let it get out of hand like that. And I shouldn't have done that, but I said we're going to talk about the old timers a little bit. I knew some of them old timers. A lot of them are done passed away, done gone. All that knowledge and wisdom they had, I guess it went with them to the grave. But I always showed how to garden by some good ones, that's for sure. And what you see in my garden, that's just the way I do it. I mean, that doesn't mean everybody has to do it that way, but that's the way that I do it. And real quick, I want to point out this hoe. You've seen this hoe before. So it has a square handle, and I like it that way, rounded off the corners, but it works best for me being like that. That's a Scoville hoe. That's an old thing. And now this hoe was made to work, not to hang on the wall, not a conversation piece. But this hoe was made to work, and I work this hoe. And I don't know, when I get it nubbed down to about right there, I may hang it on the wall. But until then, this hoe's got to work and earn its keep here. And I've showed you my wife's hoe. She's got the gooseneck hoe. Real quick, I heard that the gooseneck was, if you caught an animal in your garden, you could kind of get in between the hoe and the gooseneck and throw him out of the garden. I don't know if that's true or not. I know it does break a dirt clod pretty good. But I wanted to talk to you about the old timers. My mother and father, they were a couple old timers there. Father's done passed away, but my mother's still alive. But I can remember one time, real quick, I had a young friend of mine was over here, and we were looking at the garden, and my mother was here, and mother came to the garden and said, asked the young man, do you have any children? And he said, yes, I do. I have a house full. And my mother told him that he should pick him some of the stuff out of the garden and take it home and cook it for his family, and that it would probably help him out there with his grocery bill or whatever. And the young man told my mother that they wouldn't eat it if I picked it and took it to them. And the part that I've never forgotten is mother said that they haven't went hungry enough. And she turned around and walked off. And I never forgot that, and I'm sure that he's never forgot that. That was a few years ago. But I had another old friend of mine. I wanted to mention him. He's an old timer. Had a bunch of them. And they came out of the neighborhood where I was raised at, most of them. Or the area where I was raised at. And this old boy's name was Freddie. And Freddie was, I thought a lot of him. He was a good man. And he could most certainly raise a garden. And he was good about everything he did. But there was no excuse that you could give him for being sorry and not getting it done. And if he had came over here yesterday, he would have thrown a fit, seeing all them weeds and stuff in the garden there, and it not healed up properly. But he's actually the one that I do his garden style. That's my grandmother. That's the way she did a garden as well. And them two, they showed me how to raise a garden, plus my mother and my father there, but not like those two. They had a really keen way of raising a garden. But I just want to make this video and point out that there were some of them old timers. There just wouldn't be any excuse that you could give them. And I did make a few mistakes in the garden. Some of them I got a little bit lazy with, and then there's some of them I haven't figured out yet what I did wrong. And raising a garden, I didn't take it serious. Those are a few things that I did. That's the excuse. And that's exactly what happened. I didn't take it serious enough. And if you're going to raise a garden, you do have to take it serious, especially if you're going to depend on that garden. Now, I don't depend on these two gardens. I will can out of them, and I will freeze a lot of stuff out of them. And there'll be a lot of people they'll eat out of that garden as well. But I'm not one of those that I have to have it. And I have said before, I just do it as a hobby. And I like doing it. And I know how to do it in case I ever had to. And there's nothing wrong with knowing how to raise your garden there. Because you never know when you're going to have to. And I do like the old school way of doing things. I do like the modern ways of doing things as well. And I'm trying a few of those right now. I'm trying to learn, how shall I say it? I'm not getting any younger, and I need to figure out how I can raise a few things there a little bit easier. Let's say it that way. And I like discipline. And these old timers, they were disciplined in what they did. The one old boy there, Freddie, he had a saying, and he would say that eating out of any garden is better than eating snowflakes in the wintertime. So that made a lot of sense as I got older, and I know what he's talking about now. I can't truthfully say that I've never been hungry enough where I wouldn't eat it, and I've never been in a situation where I had to eat the snowflakes because of it. But I most certainly would hope that never happens. But I did want to mention a few of these old timers on Mother there, Freddie, and there's a bunch more. It would take forever to name them all, but they had their way of doing things, and they were a lot like my dad. He didn't really care how you did it, or they didn't care how you did it, as long as you did it right. So that's about all. Let me say thank you for watching. I'll say God bless to you. I hope you subscribe to the channel, and if you do, hit that bell so you can get a video every time we get ready to load one up. And I'll say good evening to you, and thanks for watching.